What are stories? Stories have played an important role in human history. Humans have used stories to communicate with each other since prehistoric times. Stories help you travel to magical places with just your imagination. Stories also help you to learn about the world in a fun way. Let's take a look at what a good story is made of. The beginning. Naturally, every story begins at the beginning. This is where you introduce the environment of the story. Will your story be set in a city or a forest or someplace else? Think about what will constitute a part of that environment. If you want the story to take place in a city, you will add buildings, roads, cars, and people. If it's in a forest, you will add trees, animals, birds, and so on. Start giving a thought to what these elements will look like visually. Let's take an example. You might be familiar with the famous story of the thirsty crow. The environment of this story is set in a village on a hot sunny day. We then come to one of the most important parts of the story, the main characters. Characters are responsible for driving a story. Characters can be humans, animals, even non-living things such as toys or books. It is all up to your imagination. When you introduce your characters, you need to show what they look like, what traits belong to the character, giving the viewers an idea about their personalities. For now, we will pick this thirsty crow as our main character. Next, we get to the middle. The plot of the story starts to take shape here. This is where the conflict starts to build. A conflict is a problem or challenge that your character faces. It makes the story interesting, and every good story requires conflict. It motivates your characters to take action and drives the story forward. Here, as you can see, a thirsty crow is struggling to get to the water at the bottom of the pot, which gives us the conflict of our story. We now reach the most exciting part, the ending. Every good story has to eventually come to an end. End is where the conflict of your story gets a resolution. A resolution is nothing but a solution for the conflict that you had introduced earlier into the story. As we reach the end, it's time to decide how the conflict will come down to a resolution. We ask the questions: who will help to find the solution? Will another character be introduced at this point? Will a natural occurrence help to resolve the issue? And so on. In our story, as you can see, we arrive at the resolution with the help of some friendly ants. They see our poor crow in distress and come to its rescue, resolving the conflict. Thus, the ending of your story will greatly depend on how you want your audience to feel at the end. It could end with something funny, a heroic act, or can even be sad. When you write your own story, you will have the choice of considering different genres. Think about what kind of journey you want your audience to go through. Depending on your answer, the story can be an adventure, a comedy, or a tragedy. As you go deeper into your storytelling process, you can also expand on your characters. Think about the details, like what motivates them, what their intentions are, and show how complex the characters can be. Let your imagination run wild.